We have Eastern Illinois head coach Chris Wilkerson with us, entering his fourth season at EIU. Coach, let's just talk about general thoughts and excitement about your team entering this 2025 season, and then we'll go into questions.
Yeah, no, I'm just, it's a super exciting time of the year. The guys have been working really, really, really hard. You just can't wait to get started. And we're finishing our last week of summer camp right now. They're going to have a week off before we come back and kind of get in the submarine as we report for preseason on the 27th and practice number one on the 28th. But this has been an awesome group of people. There's such a high turnover on your roster. You lose 40 to 50 players a year. You lose a number of coaches and support personnel. After the 23 season, we lost our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, strength and conditioning coordinator, amongst a number of players. And so there's so much transition that every year you're assembling a brand new group of people with a brand new mission. And these guys have been awesome. I love this group. I'm really excited about this football staff. It certainly does take talent to compete at a championship level, but I will tell you that chemistry and culture matter. And these guys have done a phenomenal job continuing to work and develop this offseason. And I just cannot wait to get started as we open up preseason this fall.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Again, if you have questions, let me know down in the chat or raise your hand. And we're going to start with Barry first. So, Barry, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and ask away.
Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Good morning, Barry.
I wanted to ask you, you mentioned a little bit about new faces, and you have about 36 of them. And I wanted to ask you, as a coaching staff as a whole, what kind of efforts do you put into integrating new guys into your program, and what kind of strategies do you have for bringing new guys in?
Yeah, a ton of stuff. But it starts with the players, the guys that are here, that have been here. It starts with strong leadership, and our captains have done a phenomenal job. Jesse Garza, Cooper Wellman, Tien Fridge, and Nick DeSanto. They have really done a good job trying to make sure that the new guys understand what the standard is. It's not about the rules, it's about the standards, and trying to do things the right way and grow as a group. And so they've spent an awful lot of time together, certainly in the building, in the weight room and on the field and doing all the player-led workouts, but they've also spent a lot of time together off of the field. Whether that be doing barbecues or cookouts or doing community service projects or, getting together and doing different things out in the community. So it's been a privilege to watch them work and grow and lead and take some ownership and accountability for that.
We talked a little bit in the spring about Jay Pearson, and I know Jay communicates with MJ Flowers and always says he wants to be better than MJ. Can you tell me how confident you are and what makes Jay someone who can take on a bigger role?
Yeah, Jay's an explosive athlete. We've kind of, as we've watched him continue to grow and improve during his career, had always thought at times he might be a little more explosive than MJ. He just hasn't had the repetition, the volume, and we haven't had to see, can he have that sustained durability? He hasn't been a 300 touch a year guy in the offense, but he's got a very good grasp of what we're doing. He's a phenomenal athlete. He can catch the ball. He can block the blitz. He can certainly carry the football. He's a threat to go the distance and finish a run every time he touches the football. He's done a great job paying his dues and continuing to develop and work. And I know he's excited about his opportunity. And we've had another, young man that certainly has kind of grown as he's been here in Jakari Fleming and showed some flashes during the spring. But we've added a guy named CK who has looked phenomenal this summer as well. So I'm really excited about the talent level in that room. MJ was a phenomenal football player in person, recently got married, this summer, but he will be certainly missed, but we're really excited about the guys in the backfield.
Cooper Willman is someone who's been around a long time and obviously has a great deal of pride, as do you, in EIU football. And I wanted to ask you about the value of guys like Cooper who have been around a long time and what that means for your program. How does that filter down to other guys?
Yeah. Impossible to put a complete value on that. He is a phenomenal person. He bleeds blue. Again, this is a guy that led our team in catches last year, came here and worked his tail off and continued to get better and better and better every single year. And, to be quite frank, he could have left. And he's like myself. He's met his wife here and got married this summer. Is a guy that has done every single thing that we've asked him to do, believes in this program, believes in this institution, has been a phenomenal leader. I look forward to watching him finish his career with us. It's a great story. I mean, it really is. He's just a phenomenal human being. It's impossible to put just a value on what he has meant to our program and to the other guys in that locker room. But he's done a great job just mentoring the guys in that room, how he goes about his business with his practice habits. He just constantly working at his craft. It's been a pleasure to watch him work, and I'm really excited about watching him lead our football team this fall.
The last one I had for you, Coach, is this is your third year now with a new defensive coordinator. And I want to ask you a little bit about what your expectations are for this defense under Coach Strobel.
Yeah, improvement. That's the expectation. Certainly, year one, there was a transition with Adam, and it was his first opportunity to be a defensive coordinator, and then he had a chance to go to the National Football League. And then Clay Bignell did a phenomenal job. Certainly, our schedule was a little bit different. Our talent was a little bit different, and Clay did a phenomenal job. And so we played very good football. We still gave up a lot of yards in year two, but we took the football away at a high level, and that was massive. We led the country, all of FCS in turnover margin in 23, and that led to our ability to be successful with wins and losses. Then last year, we were unable to take the football away, sustained a ton of injuries. Certainly, it was Clay's first year as an opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. And then our schedule was certainly a lot more challenging. So, hey, I am really excited about Andrew. He's a guy that is a veteran football coach. He has coordinated at all different levels. He has a great way with the players. We've really simplified things so that our guys can play fast. And been very, very, very focused on fundamentals and trying to understand the why and the how of why things go together. So we were very much improved this spring. It was awesome to watch. We're taking the football away at a high level in practice. We're certainly working those things on a daily basis. Our players have really bought in, and I cannot wait to watch us play this fall.
Great. Coach, thank you for your time. Always appreciate it.
Thanks a million. Appreciate it.
No, there are others waiting. If you got a question, let me know down the chat or raise your virtual hand there, and we will call on you. Coach, this year, the first year of this association, there was a different amount of teams. Then we changed teams last year. Same team. So it's the same 9 as we had last year. Is there getting to be some familiarity now? And every team may not have been ever placed, but now you sort of at least know what to expect when you see the next team on your schedule. Who's up?
Yeah, there has been a lot of change, and that's one of the things that's been constant is change. And it is nice to have some familiarity. Like you said, we haven't been to every single place. We'll go to Charleston Southern this fall, and that'll be a first for us. But there is a little more familiarity, certainly with the coaches in this league. I know Coach Barlow, obviously being new at TSU, but you have a pretty good idea of what teams' identities are. And, I think the challenge is, again, from year to year with the change in rosters and the change in your staffs, it's can you be consistent? And what Jason's been able to do at Martin and have a share of the title or be in that conversation, certainly for the last 5 or 6 years consistently, what Tuke's been able to do at SEMO, they've kind of been the gold standard. And certainly Bobby has come in and laid a very, very, very strong foundation year one. Just missing out on the playoffs, but having a share of the championship. And it says a lot about our league that you've had 5 different teams share a piece of the conference championship over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And it's a very competitive league. It's a very well-coached league. It's a very talented league from top to bottom. And certainly I think that was recognized in the postseason last year with the 3 teams from our league having a chance to compete for a national championship in the playoffs. And we're just continuing to improve. And that's what we want to focus on every single day is getting better here and making the most of our opportunities.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to Mike Brad next. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Can you talk about where you stand at quarterback going into the fall?
Yeah, sure, Mike. It's going to be competitive. Again, we've got some great guys in that room. Blaney Dowling is a guy that comes from Chicago Mount Carmel and has 2 state championships. He's got all the intangibles. He's a great leader. He's paid his dues a little bit. Kevin Conway's a guy in that room that is like having a veteran coach in there. He understands the offense inside and out, can make every throw, fairly athletic, has also been in the program. We've added Cole LaCrue from the University of Wisconsin. He improved more in the 12, in the 15 practices during the spring than anybody I've seen in quite a while. And then Connor Wolf is a redshirt freshman for us. Big, strong arm, can make every single throw. And so those 4 guys have kind of separated themselves. We've got another first year in our program. And he'll be in the mix during preseason too, but there's going to be competition is the bottom line. It will take the first 2 weeks of camp and kind of see where we're at. If we're ready to name a starter at that point in time, we will. And if not, hey, we'll continue to work. And if a couple guys separate themselves, then we'll move forward with them and then ultimately name a starter before we play at home, in August.
The follow up on defense, you lost several of the guys that played a lot in the past. Are you looking at like last year's backups primarily moving up, or is that where a lot of transfers figure in?
We've been able to add a lot of talent. It's a mix. We've got some guys that have paid their dues and have continued to work and develop. And we've also added a number of players, certainly in our front, in our linebacking crew, and even in our secondary. So we've added a ton of new faces, guys that maybe have not started here at Eastern Illinois University for football games, but that have played an awful lot of college football. As we went through the recruiting process, we were looking for certainly value and some things that would separate guys from other candidates that were in the pool, and to see some guys that either had familiarity with our system, had played an awful lot, whether that be at the FCS level, whether that be at the junior college level, whether it be at the Division II level. It was really nice to be able to bring some guys that had some experience and then watch them continue to develop here. So I'm really excited. Again, we've added an awful lot of players in our defensive front six, and certainly in our secondary.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
We got Tristan Thomas next. Go ahead, Tristan.
Hey, Chris, good morning. Just wanted to ask a little follow-up kind of on quarterback. What are you looking for in terms of traits from, that position, and what are you hoping, someone kind of can show during fall camp to win that job?
Yeah, no, it's the same every year. We want somebody who can, run the offense and certainly take care of the football and score points. That's the biggest difference for us from 23 to 24 is, we led the nation again in turnover margin. We were able to take care of the football on offense and take the football away on defense. And so our offense worked on shorter fields and our defense played on longer fields. It's not real rocket science. That's winning football. Last year, we were unable to finish drives. We turned the football over in the red zone a couple times in crucial situations. We put our defense out there on short fields, and our defense was unable to take the football away. So we played on longer fields. You have to have 12, 13, 14, 15 play drives, and it's hard to do that consistently against defenses, especially the quality of the defenses that you're going to see in our league. So it's got to be somebody who really can, again, just lead our offense, take care of the football, be themselves, but score points. And that's the biggest thing. And each one of the guys has got different skill sets. Again, like I said, Blaney's a tremendous leader. Cole's really, really good with his feet, has a very talented arm as well. Kev is kind of a mixed bag and has a great mind with what we're doing. He's almost like, again, having another coach out there, and Connor can throw it through any window and he make every single throw on the field. So really excited. Again, it's no different than as we went into the 23 season. We had a 4-man competition to start fall camp. It was down to 2 by the time we got 2 weeks in. One of the other guys we kind of thought was starting to separate himself actually got hurt, and that's when Pierce took over and then was our quarterback for 2 seasons. So it's not uncommon nowadays.
And I know once you get into the season, it's going to be one game at a time, week by week. But what do you make of the schedule and kind of what your team will have to be able to do to have a bounce back year?
Yeah, I am excited about our schedule. It's the first time we've had 6 home games here at Eastern Illinois in a long time. It's the first time we've had a chance to open at home since since I think 2016, 2015, something like that. It's a really exciting opportunity, and obviously the league games are the most important thing on our schedule. But having 2 Missouri Valley teams, and then certainly the University of Dayton coming here, and then obviously finishing at the University of Alabama is a tremendous opportunity for us. But really excited about our schedule and having a chance to play at home more often than not during the first half of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
And then we got Cameron Thomas from the Daily Eastern News. Go ahead, Cameron.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good, Cameron.
I just wanted to know, what is the message to the team, throughout the spring, heading into camp, to not have a repeat season of last year?
Yeah, we've just talked about winning the day. That's the bottom line. It's been about trying to understand that, look, yesterday is history and tomorrow's a mystery. So we've learned an awful lot from some of the mistakes that we made as a program last year. And like I said before, chemistry and culture do matter. You got to have some talent, but chemistry and culture matter. But our guys have been very, very focused on trying to win every single day. Just be present, be in the moment. Hey, we're worried about getting better today as we finish this week. Then they'll have a chance to go away and come back, and then we'll focus on every single day. We'll worry about the rest of it at the end, but we know exactly what we need to do. But that's been the most important thing is really focusing on winning the day. And I know that this group has proven themselves every single day as they've come here that they're very, very humble. And last year was a humbling experience, and they're very hungry. And I know that, again, this group of players and this group of coaches. The changes that we've made have been phenomenal. And Coach Hillman and his staff as a strength and conditioning group have done a phenomenal job with the guys. We're bigger, faster, and stronger. And I just can't wait to get started as we open up camp.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? We got about 2 minutes left with Coach before we transition to our player. If anybody has one more, we can fire it at him. All right. Well, I guess we're good then, Coach. We appreciate your time this morning and best of luck to you and your team this year.
Thanks a million. Appreciate it, Kyle.